everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Thank you so much for joining me again for yet another OWASP Project Spotlight series. Every project carries a story with OWASP, a spark that began with a problem someone wanted to solve and cared deeply about, a community that rallied behind it, and a mission to make the software ecosystem safer for everyone. The OWASP Project Spotlight series is our way of celebrating that spirit. It's not just about showcasing tools, standards, and top 10 list. It's about shining the light on the people behind them, the maintainers, the dreamers, contributors, and doers who keep the community moving forward. Through this series, we'll dive into why a project was born and what challenges it hopes to solve, how teams collaborate across different time zones, cultures, and experience levels, what developers, security engineers, educators, and students can learn from it. How do you get involved and make an impact in the OWASP project? And OWASP is at its heart a volunteer driven global family community. This series aims to strengthen that connection, bringing project leaders and community members into the same conversation, sharing lights, insights, lessons learned, funny stories, and the future they're building together. Whether you're an experienced contributor or a student or a person who's very curious to know about where to start, these spotlight series will help you find the projects that resonate with your passion and skill. So let's tell all the stories behind it. So today we had a wonderful project called OWASP, which we should definitely get to know about. And we have Alton Crossley with us. So without further ado, let me just get him on and we'll get to know about him and Project Phase. Thank you so much, Alton, for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
Thank you so much. So, Alton, we want to know about and especially what work you've been doing with OWASP because you do a lot for OWASP. And how did you start this project and specifically with a project named Phase?
Oh, yeah. So this project has been really interesting, kind of coming out of my experience. Before was in software engineering for about 20 years. I spent a lot of time on the billboard systems back in the 90s and learning a lot about the security that was going on back then, a lot of pranks going on. But then I got into software engineering and now I've kind of come full circle, coming back into security and really with an understanding of software engineering and seeing a gap. And that's kind of where this framework started is if you look around at a lot of the security frameworks that are existing, there's a gap in where they've tried to address the software engineering aspects, but something that is left out is maintainability. And so that's definitely something that's only under the control of the software engineers. And once I kind of saw that gap, because uh, software can't be secure unless it's maintainable. And so that's kind of where this started to build from, is building off of that. And really the need to be able to communicate to software engineers about secure attributes of software. And that's really where this really started to take off. And I'll share my screen here to show a couple of aspects of OWASP phase. And to open it up a little bit. So one of the things that I wanted for a software engineer security framework is to really focus in on being practical. And that practical aspect really comes down into what we call the software engineering model. And really where this stems from is from the idea that there is no static state of secure. And that really emphasizes and underscores the attribute of maintainability. And then these other aspects, trustworthiness and reliability, kind of round out the qualities of software that make it securable. And so that's really where this framework started to grow from. And if you take a look at the website when you get a chance, there's other aspects around the way that software engineers can expect to interact with the security team, and great ways for the security team to be able to be more productive when they're interacting with development. So we have these key concepts of business alignment, because sometimes that's a challenge for AppSec, because in application security, oftentimes we don't have the experience with software development to really know where their business goals are coming from or to understand what they are. So getting this alignment really helps us be productive. And then we have to acknowledge that best practices isn't enough, especially from the software engineering side. A lot of times that's all the software engineering team has. And so that's something that is useful, but it can't just stop there. So we really do need the assurance aspects of application security, and we encourage participation over assessment with security, that interaction point, really making things move faster. We still need assessments and reviews, but if we're involved from the beginning as security practitioners, then we can help things really get off the ground and be more productive, and save time and thus money. And I know one of the things that's really important too is that people are able to get involved and contribute with OWASP projects. There's the regular channels that can be used, but then also here on the GitHub repository, we can there's a comment section, so we can have discussions about things that questions we may have or problems we may have when we're trying to implement it. And this can really it's a discussion that we can have and share those problems with the community and be able to help people even before they have these problems. And feel free, there's also the Slack uh, channel on the OWASP server, Slack server, that we can join in and have discussions there too. Hopefully that's a good overview of what's going on. And I would encourage anybody to actually go over to the GitHub page. I'll switch over
Mhm.
to the GitHub page here just to show real quick. Uh,
Right. That'll be amazing.
so that we can see. So on the GitHub, the discussions I mentioned, being able to ask questions and discuss there. Then also where the real core of feiz is defined is in this RFC, and so you can really get down into the technical aspects, the low-level details of the framework and how it works and why it works, and the different ways to apply it. So we tried to be as practical here as possible, because as you saw on the outset, the goal is to be practical.
This is very helpful. I think, yes, this is something which people want to get to know, that how exactly they can contribute, what project is all about, what this project is all about, and why is it so important that people should pick up this project.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, for some software engineering groups, it can be difficult to even relate to security. And because of that, sometimes they'll just ignore security altogether. And so we really don't want that to happen, of course. And so hopefully the Securable framework or the feiz framework is able to be used even in small teams, but also on larger scales, in order for the developers to relate to security.
Absolutely, I agree with you. I think this is very important. We've been seeing these challenges for a very, very long time, and still they persist. That means we need something, some framework which can help them build a secure software, and some framework.
Yes. Oh, another advantage that I didn't mention before was that because this has very specific language in it, we
Hmm.
have the securable attributes. these can also be used in our prompt engineering in order
Hmm.
to get securable software out of our generative AI in order that it has these attributes rather than defining on a line level or on a CVE level to not do this or not do that. We can make sure that we get these attributes, the maintainability, trustworthiness, and reliability built in from a high level. And then we can also use that in our own minds to double check that output to make sure that it's going to be able to be used in a secure fashion.
I think this is totally amazing. I'm definitely going to use it because the way you structured these attributes, it's amazing because maintainability is something people can achieve, but talk about reliability, trustworthiness, all these aspects are something which is very key. And what do you do about them? I think that's something which is still a gray area, and this project can definitely help people around it.
Yeah, hopefully we can help build even further, not just from the beginning or the trivium, but also to an advanced securable state.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing these wonderful insights. This is very, very helpful. Thank you so much.